Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Taylor here. Today we are talking about my thoughts and opinions of the Real Housewives season 16. Cause child, I'm going to tell you guys how I thought about the season itself, talk about each cast member, what I really liked or what I didn't like, some speculations that I have, and what I think they need to do to improve for season 17. All right, let me just go to the top of my notes here. I got the iPad mini, I got all my notes. Let's get started. Season 16, one of the most anticipated seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta. After Kandi announced her departure at the end of season 15, people were like, okay, well, who's sticking around? What's season 16 gonna look like? And then we found out Portia was back. And it's like, okay, season 16 might actually be pretty sweet. In my opinion, the season was slow. It's not the worst season of Atlanta Housewives, but it's also not the best. But it was too slow. Like by the time we got down to the last like 4 episodes, I was wanting more at that point. Like the first few episodes were decent. They weren't the best, they were just decent. But then it just slowed all the way down and personally, I didn't like it. Overall, I would give it about a 6 out of 10 in terms of the season itself, given like the drama, the divorces, all that kind of stuff. 6 out of 10 overall, but because it was so slow, the timing of the season was about a 4 out of 10 for me. My biggest issue with this season was the lack of direction. We had faulty storylines like Britt, which we'll get into a little bit later on. Drew Sidora battling with Dennis, Ralph, and Portia. Like, girl, get it together. Kenya's abrupt departure, which was kind of like, it threw a wrench in the season because I'm like, okay, where do we go from here? That's where the season really slowed down and things seemed very choppy. It looks like production just kind of picked up whatever they could in terms of storylines and threw it together. They threw it on the screen, like Shamia and Portia having friendship issues. We've been knowing them two had friendship issues from way back when Shamia was a friend of the show. It's nothing new. Portia and Simon having their legal battles with their divorce and Simon sending the cease and desist, essentially saying, hey, Portia, you can't film in the home. That threw a wrench in the season as well because then we couldn't get Portia in her entireties. And Phaedra kind of just got dropped into the season out of random. And I wish that when Kenya departed, that's when they brought Phaedra in. They waited too long to bring Phaedra back into the mix. They should have had Phaedra maybe as like a friend of. In terms of casting, I think they did a really good cast for season 16. It was very promising. Now, did they fully deliver? No, and we understand, you know, legal battles were happening for multiple housewives because quite a few, 3 of them were getting divorced. And then 1 got fired. So the casting wasn't bad. Having Portia come back, oh, love Portia. I think she delivered decently. I think we would have gotten more had she not been in her legal battles with Simon. Had Simon not tried to stop her bread and butter and saying, hey, you can't film in the house, I feel like we would have gotten more out of Portia. Portia had a lot on her plate, a lot on her mind. It was very evident as she was filming that like she wasn't always there. And even the whole sit down with like Shamia, you could tell she wasn't really there. So overall delivery, I say I give her about 7.5 out of 10 because again, we've seen better from Portia. In terms of Shamia, I was so happy to see her as a peach holder. When she got announced as one, I was like, finally. Shamia has been a friend of the show for so many years. I'm so happy she's on the show. She's showing wealth, honey, okay? And that's what a lot of us like to watch Housewives for, the wealth. She showed it. She showed her beautiful house, her beautiful children, the things that she was dealing with as a mother to a sick child. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed seeing Shamia as a housewife. For it being her first season, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 performance, 8 out of 10 delivery. Absolutely enjoyed seeing her. Moving on to Kenya. Because her departure was so early in the season, we didn't get to really see a lot of Kenya. So my rating for her is a bit low. I'm gonna give her a 7 out of 10, but I feel like if she was able to stay on longer, like go to the Grenada trip and really interact with the ladies, she probably would have really delivered. But 7 out of 10 is my rating for her. Kelly was another great addition to Atlanta Housewives. I give her an 8 out of 10 for her first season. She brought her energy. I love seeing her as a mom, her talking about her legal battles and her divorce with her ex-husband, or estranged, no, not ex-husband, her estranged husband. I absolutely love the realness that she brought to the season. So she gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Britt. Where do I begin when it comes to Britt? I'm gonna give her a 6 out of 10, and I'm gonna explain why. Though the season did revolve around Britt, I think it revolved around her in the worst possible way. She studied Housewives before coming on to Housewives, and it was very evident. The way she immediately attacked Kenya, the way she immediately tried starting drama with Kenya, knowing Kenya was that girl. It was very disappointing. The first few episodes, I was like, okay, she's a pretty girl. And I loved her energy and I loved her vibe. But the longer we watched Britt Edie on the screen, the more unlikable she became. After she got Kenya dismissed and put on pause for the season, you got a major player escorted off the show up and show out, step into these big girl shoes and strut. She didn't deliver. In my opinion, Britt did not deliver. We didn't really get to know Britt. We just got to know about Britt's trauma. You can talk about your trauma on Housewives, but bring some relatability to you. The scene towards the end of the season where her and her husband were looking at private jets, like, girl, you donating $250 to charity and you're now talking about, oh yeah, I got money to buy a private jet? No, it just seemed over the top. It seemed fake. It just seemed, it was too much. She'd been lying. Like, when I think back to the beginning of the season, Britt was lying a lot throughout the season. Britt was not a girl's girl. Britt does not know how to be in a sisterhood. And it's almost like Britt came in wanting to be like Mia from Potomac. She came in with the Mia be lying type of vibe, and it didn't work. We all know Mia on Potomac. Mia be lying, you know, Carlos King nicknamed her that. And Mia owns up to it. Mia be like, yeah, I lied about that. Mia owned up to her shit. And that's where Britt Edie fell flat. She didn't own up to her shit. Honestly, I wish Marlo was still on Atlanta, because Marlo would have ate Britt the hell up. Would have ate her for breakfast and spit her out by lunch. Marlo would have been like, who do you think you are coming in with this kind of energy? Like, if you're gonna come in and try and be a villain or try to be the it girl, step it up. I was like, you know what, let me stop ranting about Britt, because she irritated me this season. I liked her at the beginning, but ooh, she gonna be gone. I don't see her coming back season 17, especially with that lawsuit. Girl, bye. Who else do we have? Drew Sidora. Drew was all over the place. Drew was messy this season, but she showed a lot of her real emotion and her truth when it came down to her wanting to be back in music and her dealing with Ralph and that divorce. I love seeing the little scenes of her being a mom and trying to co-parent and deal with Ralph. So like, she delivered well, but that whole messy, ooh, Dennis wants to sleep with me, ooh, me and Portia are good but we're not good, ooh, Ralph, I'm gonna get you but I'm not gonna get you because we're parents, we need to co-parent and we need to show the kids love. It was a lot. Drew was a lot. Drew was lying here, there, everywhere. Drew be lying, and we all know Drew be lying. Her lies were stupid, but it still made for good TV. Phaedra. Again, Phaedra came in way too late in the season. I'm gonna have to give her a 6 out of 10. Phaedra came in trying to read the girls but couldn't read the girls properly because she didn't really have a connection with all the girls. Even when she was trying to diss Kelly for being loud and being small, it was like, that whole Triple K joke she made about Cynthia's parts was kind of like, like, the reads weren't there. The jokes weren't really landing the way we know Phaedra to be landing these jokes and reads. So I have to give her 6 out of 10 because we've seen better. We've seen Phaedra perform better on Housewives. Though I will say I absolutely love the scenes with her son. We got to see more Faye. And that's the thing. If Phaedra is going to come back in season 17, we need more Faye and less as in drama. Okay? Cynthia, being a friend of the show, 10 out of 10. Cynthia came in 10 out of 10. Cynthia was amazing. I was surprised they didn't give her a peach, to be honest. Cynthia knew how to play this season. She, not so much play, but she knew how to interact this season. She wasn't too much, she wasn't too little. Cynthia was Cynthia, and I adored it. She got to know different sides of people. She got to know the new girls. She kicked it with the OG crew. Cynthia did amazing. I absolutely loved her performance, and I would say bring her back next year, and you better give her a peach. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about Angela. Angela, 10 out of 10, best newcomer this season. She was honest from the rip. She knows how to read the girls. She knows how to conduct herself. She knows who she's married to. She knows the kind of status she has. When she was so honest about being $2 million in debt, like, what housewife do you know would openly admit that in their first season? Think about it. Who would actually come on to Housewives and be like, yeah, I'm in the hole? She gave it all. She was so honest, even opening up about the marriage infidelity with Charles in the past. Like, oh, talking about Charles. Charles is a cast member, okay? Charles is our new Papa Smurf, okay? Peter, we loved you. You were a great Papa Smurf. You need to hand over the throne to Charles. Charles had confessionals. I absolutely love to see Charles on the screen. He wasn't in women's business. but he was in the business, okay? He stood on business. He don't play about his wife. He gave very much like Greg and Nene. Like, Greg did not play about his wife, okay? Greg did not play about Nene, and Charles is coming and doing the same thing. He don't play about Angela, and I love it. That's why I say Angela needs to come back next season. That whole duo, like the way he is and the way Angela be like he gagged her sometimes during the confessionals. I'm here for it. And not just confessionals, even in like scenes together. And I'm sitting here like, Angela, you got a good one on your hands. Even if there was infidelity, you guys clearly overcame it. You guys show such a strong marriage. I love these two. So hats off, Angela, 10 out of 10. Love it. Now, we're talking about speculations. I speculate that Kenya knew the photos that she showed, the explicit photos, weren't actually of Britt. I think she wanted to light a fire under Britt Edie. I think she wanted to make Britt think that, hey, let's show some realness to this girl. Let's find out who Britt really is. I think Kenya got information about Britt and wanted to expose that rather than just talk to Britt and be like, oh, I heard you were a cam girl. I heard you. She wanted to make it something explosive for the season. That's my personal opinion. She clearly knew detailed information about Britt's past, but didn't know how to bring it forth and thought maybe this was the way to do it. Honestly, it would have been a great opportunity for Britt to kind of show some realness and kind of admit to who she is. Like, yeah, I used to do cam girl work, or yeah, I was a video vixen, da 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 da. Because then she would have really owned it. Like the way Mia from Potomac kind of was like, yeah, I was a bottle girl. Like, yeah, I worked at a strip club. Like, yes, I did this and that. Like, Mia owned it. And this was an opportunity for Britt to kind of do the same thing, but it fell flat. Britt just decided to play victim, only to come out towards the end of the season and be like, oh yeah, those pictures weren't even of me. What do you mean they weren't of you? So you did this whole scene with your husband talking about, oh my God, I had to talk to my mom about these things. Oh, I was a cam girl. Oh, that photo was me when I was underage, da 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 da. And it's like, but now you're coming out saying it wasn't you. So were you lying to the cameras? Are you trying to save face now? Like, who is Britt Edie? Like, what is the truth here? I think Bravo should have sat these girls down, made them have a whole resolution dinner and be like, Kenya could have been like, you know what? I'm sorry, I was totally wrong for putting that out there. I know that photo wasn't of you. I just wanted to aggravate you, da 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 da. Britt would have been like, oh my God, girl, like if you knew this about me, why didn't you just talk to me? Like, you know, kind of have a resolution and then keep Kenya for the rest of the season, or just kick her off and be like, hey, we'll film with you next year. That kind of thing. Britt literally screwed this entire season because of this drama, only to come out and be like, that wasn't me, and by the way, I'm suing Bravo. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Now, in terms of next season improvements, I'm gonna need you to stop leaks. Make people sign NDAs, because we all knew about the whole Kenya drama with Britt Edie and the explicit photos before it even came out. So we knew when you guys were filming and we're like, all right, we're gonna get a resolution to this, and it fell flat when we watched the season. So y'all need to really stop some leaks for major incidences. Let us see it as we're watching it when you guys put it out week by week. Secondly, I need y'all to have better storylines. I need you guys to have more friendship. You need to cherish the friendships you guys already have. It's like the executives wanted to break down Portia and Shamia's friendship, which we have seen for years on this show. And it bothered me that they didn't want to show the unity of these girls, given that they're both going through shit. They really could have leaned on each other and show like real friendship, real sisterhood while they were filming. But it's almost like they wanted to pit these two against each other. Like, ooh, one got a real good African prince, the other one got a scamming prince. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the way they tried to decimate this friendship bothered me. And I'm like, you guys didn't do that in Miami with Alexia and Maricel. You guys showed like, yeah, these girls are really good friends. They've been close friends for like 20 years. Same thing with like Robin and Giselle from Potomac. You cherish certain friendships, but when it came down to Atlanta, you're not cherishing anything here. I thought it would have been better for them to do that, but hey, again, who am I? Y'all need to make reunion appearances mandatory in the contracts here on out, because Britt Edie not showing up to the reunion, I already know this reunion is gonna flop. It's not gonna be as good as it could have been. Y'all should have brought Kenya in for the reunion too, because she had a contract with you guys. Sure, she didn't finish the season. You still should have brought her back for the reunion to say her piece on the situation that got her kicked off for the rest of the season. Personal opinion, if you filmed and they show you for the season, you better show up for the reunion. Also, make the cast trips better for Atlanta. This whole division of like 2 girls here, 2 girls there, 2 girls over here. You guys have group activities, but we're gonna split you guys up half and half. Like, it just seemed messy. There wasn't a lot of unity and sisterhood in the cast trip this year. They did a really good time when they went to Jab Jab in Grenada. I thought that was really awesome. I love seeing Caribbean culture talked about and explored on Real Housewives. I really like the location and the destination. Maybe next time, you know, go to a different island, like, I don't know, St. Vincent in the Grenadines. Just saying. I would like to see just better cast trips, more unity, a little bit of drama. Not the drama that Britt Edie brought on, talking about Shamia, I'll always be there for you. Like, oh my god, that whole scene had me cringing. I had to put my TV on mute because I'm like, girl, this is so fake. Like, what? We're not even gonna get into that. Was a whole messy scene. I think that's all I have to say in regards to Real Housewives Sweet 16 season. Again, it wasn't bad, it's just not what I expected. I can't wait for the reunion. I can't wait to get into all the BS that's about to go down. And yeah, I'll have a whole video about the reunion, do a whole review, talk about the reunion looks in an upcoming video. I'll discuss my casting preference for season 17 in my reunion review video, so stay tuned to that. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.